The big boys. We're going to get to DJ Reader too briefly, not briefly, but shortly. But right now it'll be Aiden Hutchinson and Liam McNeil there on the our right side as we look at it. Here comes the pick stunt. Liam does a great job of hammering down on that tackle to a point where that guard has no choice but to keep going with him. That's a backup tackle, and then Aiden is going to get real deep and then skinny and get right tight around this guard. Watch how tight he gets around that guard. That's the agility, the three cone, the sub 7 three cone that he had at the combine. That the cornering stuff, all the little hidden things that nobody can quite ever spot on a TV copy in fast motion and whatever that made him different. The ability to stop and keep going without losing any time. You know how many guys in the league, how many guys have to stop on that pick right there and shuffle their feet? Watch when I'll stop right here in a second. When Aleem slams this dude back in. See, he takes the guard. You see how Aiden planted that foot and just bursts right out of it like a tight end? That's the difference, right? Between a first-round edge, a top 5 edge, whatever you want to call it, defensive end, and somebody else. Because, it's just that bounce right off you can see him again coming off the corner here as he stops. Boom. There's no shuffling, no, rounding the corner. There's some receivers that can't do that, man. This guy is a hell of an athlete. Hell of a football player. Awesome stuff. 5 sacks, 4.5 is what it was. So I'm not even going to address the crowd anymore that complains about him. It's just ridiculous. All right, sudden change, but Aiden Hutchinson obviously doesn't care because this is what happens when you put a backup tackle without help on Aiden Hutchinson. I'll never understand the Liam Cohen. They got away with one here, man. They got away with one here. Todd Bowles is a hell of a football coach. Liam Cohen has lived a charmed life to this point. I'm not sure how this is not good. This was not good game planning by Tampa at all. They got lucky in this one. That's Hutchinson just destroying a backup tackle, which is what everyone assumes would happen. Also, Levi getting in there again as well. I believe this is Levi's. I think I got unblocked actually on that one. That's not anybody's fault. Levi had a really good game again today or yesterday, Sunday. Had a couple hiccups like everybody else, but was really active and destructive and banging people around in there in the front and the run game. Lions fit the run really well in this one, so that's encouraging. That's another area where I think they did improve. All right, here we go. Party time for Hutchinson again. At least this time the back's over here, right? So he's going to get this tackle incredibly deep. The back's not going to help, though, which is just, what are you doing? That's a mistake on the back, but look at that, man. Look at that. He's just destroyed this guy. He's got torture chamber. These first 2 weeks, he ate. He faced backup tackles, but he made them look like backup tackles the whole way through. This was just, so he's at 5.5 sacks through 2 weeks, umpteen pressures. Pretty good start for Aiden Hutchinson. Run fit here. You got Onwuzurike, DJ Reader, Aleem McNeil, and Aiden Hutchinson, but really watch the 3 interior guys here. The TNT, the tackle, nose tackle. Reader with the one arm, just benching this guy. Aleem going to eat the double. Levi wrecks this block. Man, that's Barnes coming in too to knock that thing out. And then Levi makes the play. Man, you cannot do it better than that. You cannot do it better than that right there, folks. Really good. 91, 98, 54. Good freaking luck with that, everybody else. When these boys are healthy right here, this is a problem because they're going to be sealing gaps and letting these guys run right here. They don't even need to run because Levi makes the play. But when they're sealing stuff off like this and knocking back the line of scrimmage like that, and Barnes is coming in to fit like that, buddy, this was a much better defensive football game from the Lions across the board, fundamentally against the run. This is what we saw at the end of last year, plus with DJ Reader in there. Active, pushing the pocket, doing our job, staying in the rush lane, all this. That is a heck of a trio all of a sudden right there. Really good, really good. And this was there all game. This is just one rep that I pulled up. But this was, you can pull up every time they tried on first or second down, this is more or less what you saw. If Reader or Aleem or Levi was in the game, this is pretty much what you saw. Those 3 guys have been playing some pretty good football here. Back on defense for Detroit, you can see Hutchinson actually getting chipped finally. For the love of God. Doesn't matter, as he's still getting through. And Mayfield's drops, as you see there, are just way, way too deep. Way too deep. He did not help his offensive line in some of these. Hutchinson's so wide on this. The chip does nothing. But yeah. Levi Onwuzurike, plus Is that Makai Wingo in there, or is that Aleem? I'm not sure if it might be Wingo, but let's see if when he comes up, it's at 94 or 54. If it's 54, he's lost weight. It's 54. So, okay, we got the Brothers of Destruction in here, and it's going to be Levi time as he just swims right through, gets the big sack. Also got pressure coming off the edge here from Davenport, who had a really nice game as well, beating the backup tackle. I don't know if I can count on that every week from him, but pretty good there. And again, Levi, man, was impactful in this game. He had 4 or 5 pressures, consistent the whole way through. You like what you see there, the quickness, the explosion, the balance through contact, all the stuff we saw from him at Washington. Knock on wood, pretty good stuff early from Levi. Offense for the Rams, and this is going to be the Aiden Hutchinson hour as he comes up on a tight end for crying out loud. This was the thing I didn't like about the Rams game plan. Pretty much the only thing is they left him alone way too much. He had 9 pressures, 5 hits, 4 whatever, partridge in a pear tree. The whole thing, it was just a dominant afternoon or evening, I should say, from him in ways that I think we'll see repeated in some cases as things move on here. But Aiden had himself a game, and if you're going to leave him alone with a guy like that, like you get everything that you have coming to you and more. And that's just, here it comes again. Like, you got to be kidding me. And you motion away. So I think, like, here he comes. Hutchinson did tackle him low, okay, but I think they embellished a little bit more on there. Stafford immediately throwing a fit to the refs, gonna get the flag because he's Stafford, and then he's gonna come back here now and start talking some shit. And that's where you're just like, and Hutchinson here, he got his money's worth. And that's where it's like, I thought that was kind of I don't know. It was a kind of a, it changed the whole situation as they were able to flip the field on this and get a penalty out of it. But you can see the big spin and his momentum, I think, as he's coming down. If you're Aiden, you got to kind of run through him. So fair enough. But that's also one of those where it's like, did he need to stand over him and talk shit? I don't know. That Stafford's crazy, though. So it is what it is. That does not deter Mr. Hutchinson, however. It just probably makes him more angry, as I think you could go back and you watch the TV copy, and he does look quite pissed as Stafford is jawing in his ear, and he's going to take it out on Mr. R. Curry, the former Spartan. But he can't make the sack because the old man slips out. This has got to be a sack, okay? Criticize Aidan Hutchinson for whatever, if you want to be an idiot for a lot of this stuff, that some of these pressures, this has got to be a sack. It just does. You know what I'm saying? And that's anybody. So got to make that play. Also, Stafford's awesome. He's more athletic than people realize. He feels pressure better than anybody in football. He's hard to sack, but that's got to be a sack. If that's a younger quarterback, he's ear-rolling him, running right through him. But it's not, and this is why this guy's awesome, and this is why this was a really good football game. Reception, you're going to see the Lions are going to drop back into what almost looks like some sort of a zone situation, and I think it might even be, some sort of 3. But either way, if he's in robber or if he's in just deep in cover 3 and just squatting on him, does he blend in with the end zone because he's wearing all blue? I don't know. Maybe pressure obviously impacts this play. Hutchinson, again, this is like his 4th pressure on this drive. But I think Stafford just did not see Joseph standing there. Same thing happens to Goff a little bit later, and I think that's just maybe a September thing, where he thinks he's going to run free right here, and I just forgot he's right there. Where pressure, Hutchinson going to do the spin again. McNeil's going to get in there too, and there's nothing Stafford. He's got to get up there and get out of there, and he's got Cup too. Forced throw a little bit too early. He's got to move on, but that's Hutchinson. I actually thought he had more than 9 in this game. Some of those have been close to a pressure that maybe you call a hurry, right? So between the pressures and the hurries, I think he had 14 combined pressures and hurries. Just an awesome performance.